I am now screencasting because a student has asked me to please do so. All right, so here we go. The InDesign kind of start up. All right, so this is something that sometimes will come up when you're working on, going from one machine to another, is that the font that I used at home is actually not on this machine. And so it's going to go ahead and it's going to substitute. I'm going to go ahead and let it do that. I tried to find the fonts, but I really, I don't want to go through all that right now. But if you have a feeling that the fonts might be available or something like that, then you could always do a find. But or if you transfer your fonts onto your drive, then you could point it to those. But I'm just going to go ahead and just tell it to go ahead and we'll see what happens with the stuff. All right. All right. So let's get this bigger. And that a little smaller. Okay, and so, there's not much on there right, at this point. But there's a little something, right? I mean, at the very first, there's at least color. And that alone gives it something to draw the person in, all right? Up at the top here, oops, it's not even, all right. So then again, what I've done here at the top is I've laid out, my name, an email address they can contact me at, and then my portfolio website. And then given just some basic information, my name, my rank, and the institution where I currently am. And so you might wonder, where did he get this color? Yes, no, maybe. All right. So, what I decided to do was work with an artwork that I made, and I've made some kind of almost like bullets, right? So down here at the bottom and up here to separate. And the group that's going to be teaching us this, I think, is going to talk to us about master pages. So they might want to talk to me as well. But they'll show you about how to do these sorts of things so that you have consistency across different pages. So the way I got these colored bands is I chose one of my artworks. I'm going to InDesign down here. And I'm going to open up my Photoshop and show you what I did. And if you have an artwork with you that you might want to play around with, that you've got a digital file for, you can go ahead and want to open it up in Photoshop, you're certainly welcome to. I am going to have it open. This one here. All right. And so I took my photo here, and all I've done is I've chosen to select a row and a column, just a single row and a single column. And of course, what I like to do is go ahead and I'll undo the background here, and then I like to copy that. Then I can lock this one and hide it just so it doesn't do anything to it. Okay. Now we're so used to like selecting, rectangles, maybe even some ovals, but what we can also do is select single rows or single columns. And you can do this a few times to see what might look good for you. Let me go ahead and make sure I've selected the correct one. And then if I just click on there, it selects that row. but it's just going to be a single line. It's not actually going to have any pixels within it at this point. And so what I need to do is go into Edit, Transform, and Scale. And then I can grab this and pull it down a little bit. All right. Okay. And now I actually do want to do something here that we normally don't, right? We normally will do a mask, but here I don't necessarily want a mask. So what I've got is this little strip kind of selected here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can kind of see what it's done. So since I had dragged it out, right, it sort of smeared it. But to show a little bit better, I'm going to select the inverse. I'm actually going to delete all of that. All right. Oops. All right. I'm going to select the inverse again so it just has this row. And then I'm going to do a new layer. And oh, wait a minute. Oh, it's not letting me. Hang on a second. There we go. Sorry. From up here, we'll go into duplicate layer. But instead of putting it in the same document, I actually want to create a new one. And this way, I'll have it, and I'll say this will be computer row. It's actually going to be 2 for me because I've already made one before, right? And this will actually be that layer 0 copy. And so it's going to open up this new document, right? So as you can see, it's the only layer that's there, and it is just this row. And since I'm going to be inserting that within the InDesign document, I don't actually want all this surrounding background. And so what I will do is go into Image. I'm going to trim that. All right, right now it's already, usually it'll do this thing where it will choose transparent pixels in all sides, and that's actually what I want for this. Sometimes you might have where some things are checked and others are not, so you just look at what you're wanting to keep, what you want to get rid of, and make that determination. So now I just have that single strip. Now it looks really small on here, but actually, if I view my rulers, this thing's like 60 inches long, right? And that's fine because I can size it down now. I can size it down in the InDesign. It gives me some choices if I leave it about this size. I just have to kind of mess with it a bit. And then I can save that as its own file. There we go. I am going to save it as a Photoshop file for now. But of course, I'm going to want to end up saving it as like a PNG. Because the PNG is what I will be able to put into the InDesign. And we'll see how that works. All right, so I'm going to save that. And I'm actually going to do the same thing here. Let me zoom out a little bit. Let's see, I've already got one over on this side. I'll do one over on. Oops. I'm going to now change it over to single column marquee. And I'll choose like that area. And then I'll do the same thing. So if I want to actually have something with color on this, what do I need to do now? What's that?
Use your own image.
Well, I've got that, right? So now I have a row. Now I want a column.
Oh, you mean like how do you make
Yeah, how am I going to make my column? Okay. All right. I want to transform, so I want to go to edit. Oh wait. Ha. Gotta click the right one. There we go. All right. Transform. All right. And scale. Yes. Yeah. All right. Now I'm gonna pull out one of these sides. All right. Actually, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm gonna make it a little bit wider, just in case. All right. Actually, you know what I need to do before I do that? Let me go back a little bit. I forgot to make this another copy. All right. Now, here we go. Yep. Edit, transform, oops, scale. Drag this out a little bit here. All right. And now what do I do? All right. So if I erase what am I going to erase if I have it selected like this? All right. So let's all right. Yes. Let's select inverse. I right clicked. Yeah. Right click and select inverse. All right. Let's select that inverse again. All right. And now I want to make it its own image. All right, layer, duplicate layer, all right. And then we're going to make it a new one. It will, actually it's going to open up just in a Photoshop file. So computer column 2. All right, and so now, whoop. All right, we're good. All right, so as we see here, it has gone ahead and brought me over to that new file. It is the only layer. And now all I want though is that column. So what do we do next? Image, trim. All right, transparent pixels on all sides, and OK. All right, I'm going to save it. Sounds good. And so it will save as a Photoshop file, so I can work on it later. And then I'm going to save as a PNG as well. So I've got it there. All right, so now I've got a couple things to work with as far as a border. I can pull some parts out of it in order to make like little bullets and things like that. And I'm going to go ahead and stop this right here for now because it's just a few minutes till break.